Oh, so it's a little bit worse than I thought, actually. Okay, so in this video, we're going to start the rebuild process for my M57 turbo diesel in the X5. So far, I've already got the front and rear drive shaft out of it, the exhaust disconnected, all the underbody plastics and shielding. We got all of the fluids drained out of it. We got the coolant and all the radiator, the fan, everything out of the front, intercoolers out of it. And now we're just a few more things away from dropping this engine and transmission and subframe right out the bottom, and then we'll get the drivetrain out. All right, so we have the engine and everything dropped down, and I need to be able to push the subframe back up into the car and then be able to turn the X5 going out of the barn. I can't be taking up this lift. So I don't want power steering fluid to come out of this rack if I were to leave it with the engine. So I am taking the power steering pump off of the engine itself. So I'm going to undo the serpentine belt, drop the power steering pump down, and then I can re-hook up the reservoir there and this back up to the power steering cooler so that we have a sealed system again. So when this turns with the steering wheel and I'm pushing in and out of the barn, I don't have fluid being thrown everywhere. So this is how to do it a little bit cleaner versus leaving this with the engine, going up with that, and dealing with all that later.
Okay, so why did you pull the engine out of the bottom instead of pulling it out from the top?
Well, we have the lift, and it's just easier for me to have this as all one unit instead of trying to undo the bell housing bolts inside of the tight trans tunnel. So I could just drop it all out, split them down here, and then I can put the subframe back up. It's just easier for our circumstances with the lift to drop it out the bottom and put everything back up after that.
So what's next?
So now that we have this removed from the X5, our main priority is the engine. So we're going to split the transmission from the engine, bell housing bolts, torque converter bolts, wiring, those trans lines on that side. We'll keep the transfer case attached to the transmission until at a later date we want to service both of those, which is really just filter and fluid changes. So we're going to take those off the engine, then we're going to get the engine on a stand and start tearing into this and getting it down to hopefully like a short block and figuring out exactly which bearings went bad on this. We're going to remove this 13 mil bolt. Get these trans lines out of here. It's 10 millimeter. I'm going to pull this bracket. Okay, and then we need to get this diff vent out of the way that is corroded like it's at the bottom of the ocean. There we go. Okay, now that that's out of the way, these are going to make a mess. Now we can work on trans wiring on this side. Just that should be pulled out. Now we get this downpipe out of the way. Pull the inspection plate, and then we're going to crank over the engine and pull the torque converter bolts. Okay, torque converter bolts are off, and now the bell housing bolts. Start with the starter. Start with the starter. Come on. Just trying to get to the bottom bolts. Oh, come on. Stupid bolt. Now, take off the other side the rest of the way. Okay, so in theory, this trans should just go backwards. There we go. No. Stay with your transmission. Come on. Torque converter wants to stay with the engine. There we go. Now they've created a mess. Appreciate that. Appreciate you making that mess. That's great. Okay. Transmission is out. Now we got to pull this flex plate and the rear main, crank sensor, all that, so that when it gets on the engine stand, I don't have to pull all that out. All right, so now we're going to pull this flex plate off, and then we're going to get this dust shield off and the rear crank sensor, and then we're going to pull the rear main so that when it's on the engine stand, the stand's pretty much like right here, so I can't get the rear main off. And I'd be able to pull that when I want to pull the crank out of this block. So we're going to disassemble all this, more than likely get the starter off as well because it's just hanging out there now, and get this ready to go on to the engine stand. I'm going to pull this tone ring off. This is what the crank sensor reads. There's little magnets in here, and so it can tell what position. And then there's a larger oblong hole here that goes on that dowel so that it can time the rear crank because it can only go on one way. So now we're going to pull this little shield off. Just slid onto those dowels, and then let me get the starter out of the way, then we'll get this crank sensor out, and then these 13 and 10 mils pull this rear main off. Where'd my 10 mil go? So you got trigger wire here. This is what, when you hit your push button start, that's what sends 12 volts here. And then you have direct to battery 12 volts here, and then you have this 12 volts that goes to your alternator, and so that's how your alternator charges your battery and everything. So now we're gonna undo this crank sensor, a 4mm Allen and a 5. Don't strip. Don't. There you go. Crank sensor's out. So now we can pull off this rear main. We got 10mm here, 13. Okay, and then we're gonna need something to safely pry that off. Now we're not reusing this, but we don't want to hurt the block. And there's two pins somewhere in here that are holding it. Oh, plus you gotta undo these two bottom bolts. Forgot about those. Those are E12. So now that those are pulled, pull the dowel out on that side. there's that out. So now we can get this block up onto the engine stand and don't have to worry about anything getting in our way. So we got the engine up on the engine stand, and we're going to start tearing into this. So we need to get it torn down to a bare block. We need to figure out what bearings failed, what carnage we have. Obviously, metal went through the engine. The oil had metallic in it. The filter has large bearing chunks in it. So we're going to start on teardown. We're going to go from top to bottom. We're going to start on the intake side, get the manifold off, start tearing down this side. Then we'll swap over to the other side, get the turbo and the exhaust side down, and then we'll end up getting the cylinder head off, pistons, rods, crank, and see what's savable from this block. I'm hoping the block itself and the crank are okay, and that we caught it soon enough that we can save those maybe with a polish or whatever and be able to reuse them in this engine. So we're going to get started in tearing into that, and I'll stop if we find any carnage along the way, but I don't think there's anything until we get into the lower end there. Pretty good actually. Cams look savable, look in good shape, no bad scoring. That's very good.
Woohoo!
Woo! So now I need to take the timing chains off so that I can pull the cams out, cylinder head off, out of there. And then I can go after the bottom, and I'll probably drop the oil pan and then flip it, pull the rods out and everything, check those bearings, check the mains. Some bearing in the bottom end is not happy. Pulling the glow plugs while I have the engine holding the head for me, and then I'm gonna pull a couple more things and then the head's gonna come off. let's see here. Go after main bearing number 1. Oh! Oh! Well, yeah. So it's a little bit worse than I thought, actually.
Oh, no.
We spun main bearing 1. You see how the split is right there? So that it spun. Yeah, you see all that scoring in main cam?
Yeah.
I don't know yet. I don't know what the exact plan is with this yet, but we're gonna go see what the rest of the damage looks like.
Okay.